Venice, Italy, renowned for its labyrinthine canals and mysterious charm, harbored secrets that lay concealed in the intricate architecture and winding alleyways. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the city of masks and masquerades, a malevolent force prowled its timeless streets. Detective Alessandra Moretti, a seasoned investigator with a penchant for solving the most enigmatic cases, found herself entangled in the web of a twisted killer who lurked in the heart of Venice. The waters that had long guarded the city now whispered tales of darkness that threatened to consume it. It all began with the discovery of a lifeless body floating in one of the narrow canals. The victim, a young woman with raven hair and porcelain skin, bore the marks of a brutal crime. Her life had been extinguished in a manner that spoke of malevolence and ritualistic intent. As the news of the gruesome murder spread, a chill settled over the city, and fear gripped its denizens. Alessandra Moretti stood at the crime scene, the ambient glow of the lamplights casting an eerie pallor over the canal's dark waters. The moon, a silent witness to the horrors that unfolded, hung low in the Venetian sky. The detective's keen eyes surveyed the scene, her mind already racing to unravel the cryptic motives behind the murder. The city's tight alleyways, normally bustling with tourists and locals alike, now held a sinister air. Alessandra's investigation led her through a network of serpentine lanes, each one a potential trap set by the elusive killer. The victims, all young women, were chosen with a precision that spoke of a deranged mind driven by a dark purpose. As the body count rose, so did the tension in Venice. The city of masks had become a stage for a macabre drama, and its canals, once romanticized, now mirrored the horrors that lurked within its shadows. The killer's methodical approach left no room for error, and the detective found herself racing against time to catch a murderer who seemed to blend seamlessly with the timeless beauty of Venice. Alessandra delved into the city's history, seeking patterns and connections that might unveil the killer's motives. It was during her late-night research that she stumbled upon a forgotten tale, a whispered legend that spoke of dark rituals conducted in the heart of Venice. Centuries ago, a cult known as Il Sangue degli Immortali, the blood of the immortals, had allegedly sought immortality through sinister means. The cult believed that sacrificing young women during a specific celestial alignment under the light of a blood moon would grant them eternal life. As Alessandra delved deeper into this macabre history, a disturbing connection began to emerge. The Venetian Blood Moon killer, as the media had dubbed the elusive murderer, seemed to be following the rituals of the ancient cult. Each victim's life was snuffed out during a lunar event, and the crime scenes bore symbols that echoed the cult's sinister practices. Determined to apprehend the killer and put an end to the reign of terror, Alessandra coordinated with forensic experts, historians, and a small team of trusted officers. The investigation led them through the city's darkest corners, where secrets lay hidden beneath layers of history. The next murder struck during a particularly dense fog that blanketed the city. Alessandra received an anonymous tip pointing her to an abandoned palazzo nestled in the heart of Venice. The crumbling building, its grandeur long faded, exuded an air of malevolence that sent shivers down the detective's spine. As Alessandra entered the palazzo, the silence within was broken only by the distant lapping of water against ancient stone. The air was heavy with the scent of dampness and decay, and the flickering light of her flashlight revealed forgotten tapestries and dusty chandeliers that hung like ghosts from the ceiling. A door at the end of a dilapidated corridor beckoned Alessandra. As she pushed it open, the detective stepped into a chamber that seemed frozen in time. The walls bore murals depicting scenes of ancient rituals, and an altar stood at the center adorned with symbols that mirrored those found at the crime scenes. In the dim light, Alessandra noticed an inscription on the wall, a chilling message that spoke of the cult's thirst for immortality. The realization sent a shiver down her spine, for she knew that the killer was not merely emulating the cult. They were an inheritor of its dark legacy. The chamber led to a series of interconnected rooms, each one revealing more of the palazzo's sinister history. Alessandra discovered hidden passages that crisscrossed beneath the city, providing the killer with an intricate network to ensnare victims and escape undetected. As she delved deeper, the detective unearthed the cult's twisted lore. According to the legends, the cult's members had made a pact with dark entities that supposedly lingered in the labyrinthine passages beneath Venice. The ancient catacombs, a subterranean world hidden from the prying eyes of the living, were believed to be the gateway to immortality. The trail led Alessandra to a long-forgotten entrance to the catacombs beneath a centuries-old church. The descent into the depths revealed a macabre underworld where the boundary between reality and myth blurred. The walls were adorned with symbols that seemed to writhe with malevolent energy, and the air itself pulsed with an otherworldly force. Navigating the catacombs, Alessandra discovered a hidden chamber where the Venetian blood moon killer conducted their sinister rituals. The room bore witness to unspeakable acts, and the walls were etched with the names of the victims, each one a tragic soul sacrificed in pursuit of the cult's unholy quest. As Alessandra examined the gruesome tableau, a figure emerged from the shadows, the killer draped in a dark cloak that seemed to absorb the feeble light. Their eyes, cold and devoid of humanity, locked on to the detective. The killer spoke with a voice that echoed from the depths of the catacombs, a voice that carried the weight of centuries. "I am the keeper of the blood moon," the killer declared, their words laced with fanatic fervor. "The immortality of the cult shall be realized through the sacrifice of these chosen vessels. You, Detective Moretti, shall witness the rebirth of the immortals." Alessandra, undeterred by the ominous proclamation, reached for her weapon. The confrontation that followed was a desperate struggle in the bowels of the catacombs, where darkness and ancient malevolence conspired against the detective. The killer moved with an uncanny agility, their every motion calculated to evade capture. As Alessandra fought to apprehend the murderer, a sudden tremor shook the catacombs. The very foundations of Venice seemed to protest against the unfolding horror. The killer, undeterred by the chaos, uttered incantations that resonated with the ancient energies within the subterranean chamber. The catacombs, a realm veiled from the living, responded to the killer's invocation. Shadows coalesced, and the air became charged with a palpable malevolence. Alessandra, gripped by a sense of urgency, redoubled her efforts to subdue the killer before the catacombs unleashed their ancient wrath. In the final moments of the struggle, as the catacombs threatened to collapse into an abyss of darkness, Alessandra managed to incapacitate the killer. The cloaked figure, their facade of immortality shattered, crumpled to the cold stone floor. With the killer subdued, Alessandra called for backup. The catacombs, once a conduit for the cult's unholy pursuits, were now a silent witness to the confrontation that had unfolded within their depths. As the first rays of dawn broke over Venice, Alessandra emerged from the subterranean labyrinth, the weight of the city's dark secrets etched in her weary gaze. The Venetian blood moon killer, unmasked and defeated, would face justice for the atrocities committed in the name of an ancient cult's deluded pursuit of immortality. As the city slowly returned to its calm facade, the echoes of the investigation lingered in the canals and alleyways, a reminder that even in the most picturesque landscapes, darkness could seep through the cracks. The labyrinthine passages and hidden corners of Venice, once a haven for the killer's sinister pursuits, were now exposed to the light of truth. Detective Alessandra Moretti, weary yet resolute, vowed to protect the city from the shadows that sought to ensnare it. The waters that had long guarded Venice now flowed with a renewed sense of tranquility, as if cleansing the city of the malevolent taint that had threatened to engulf it. The legend of the Blood Moon, once a whispered tale of a cult's dark ambitions, had found its resolution in the city's shadows. Venice, with its timeless beauty and intricate history, bore witness to the triumph of justice over the ancient malevolence that had sought to linger within its depths. The canals, reflecting the dawn's soft light, carried the secrets of the past away, leaving Venice to reclaim its status as a city of masks and mysteries, where the enigmatic allure of its streets concealed stories both dark and divine.